Hey, Push Pass Nation, come on in, come on in. What is on your mind this evening? Well, I think for most of us who joined in for the live stream of the Calypso event last night, it's the live streaming. I mean, how many years have we been attempting to do this live stream and it just never seems to work out? So I want you to come on in, tell us your experience, and I want this to be a learning opportunity. So I don't want this to be, we're here to bash anyone. In all honesty, I want this to be an opportunity for us to finally pinpoint what the issues are with this whole live stream thing and simply learn what we can improve and how we can improve this live stream, because we all know the future is now. The future is live streaming events, the future is pay-per-view, and this is all happening now, especially because of COVID. So I want to hear from you this evening. If this is your first time joining us, I am Simone Matthew, and on this platform, Push Past 10, we are all about promoting and celebrating who we are as Dominicans and Caribbean people. But it's also a platform where we want to come together and say what's on our mind, talk about current issues, current happening, and what is going on. So don't forget, share the live, tag someone, tag a few friends, let them know that we are here, and we are simply going to have a conversation about what happened last night. So a happy Sunday to you. I hope that you enjoyed a great Sunday. You're still enjoying a great Sunday. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Do you have any plans? So I hope you have some good plans for Valentine's Day, whether it's with a significant other or simply pampering yourself for Valentine's Day. So come on in, check in, post a message. Let us know that you are here. Let us know what your experience with the live stream was like yesterday. And as you can see today, I'm pretty much flying solo for this Candid Conversation. I decided to go live today, and Tad may join us, but I do apologize if he's unable to join us, because again, I just started seeing all the comments from last night, and I decided, we have to come out and we have to come together and just kind of talk about how do we improve this live stream situation once and for all. So maybe Tad will drop in a little while, but for the most part, we're just going to have a conversation. We're going to talk about your experiences with the live stream, and we're going to talk about how we can once and for all improve the live stream. But before we do, I want to say congratulations to the finalists of the Calypso Semi-Finals last night. Let's see, we had Mystery, Observer, Shanice, Checo, Trendsetter, Soulpool, Sour, Tasha P, Dice, Black Diamond, King Dice, King JD, The Healer, Carousel, and Mighty D. And the reserves, we have Mika, Explosion, and Checker. So come on in. Tag a friend of you, let them know that we are here for a candid conversation and we want to learn from the experiences of the live streams that have happened so far, and how can we improve these live streams going forward so we can all have a better experience. Because let's face it, right? The more we improve the live streams, the more customers we're going to be able to attract, and thus more revenue. So why not spend the time in learning what is going wrong, learning what has gone wrong, and try to improve it? So I want to thank everyone who's joining us so far, and I want to say a pleasant good evening. Come on in, share the live, let everyone know that we're here. So exactly what we're talking about, right? So it looks like we had a number of complaints, and I was sitting here trying to decide if I was going to pay for the live stream. And I thought, let's just go see what everyone is talking about on Facebook. But first of all, let me start with the good news, because I heard from several people, and you can let me know what your experience was with this. I heard from several people that ComC TV did a phenomenal job. So if you're one of the folks who was watching ComC TV, I hope that you had a good experience, and you can let us know what your experience was like on ComC TV. And while we're at it, let me take a look and make sure that we are live and we're all set and ready to go. Yep, indeed, we are live. and we are here for this conversation. So we have Almera Henry, Roy Labad, Stephanie John is watching. So thank you for being here. Don't forget to share the live while I'm sharing the live right here on my end. I want you to go ahead and share the live so we can finally, once and for all, kind of learn from this whole live streaming experience and finally be able to just move forward so that we are all able to have a good experience moving forward and just being able to enjoy the show. Because again, we've been having this conversation in my mind for far too long. I mean, think about it. When was the first time we started live streaming events, right? I think it has to be at least 10 years now that we have been doing these live stream events. And it just seems that every year we see more complaints than we see compliments. So let's work on what is really the problem and let's get this live stream together once and for all. So come on in. Happy to see everybody who is joining us on the Facebook Live. We're also live on YouTube as well. So we are happy that you're here, that you're joining us, and that you are taking some time to be a part of this important conversation. So once again, I'm just kind of sharing the live, letting everyone know that we are here so they too can be a part of this conversation. All right, great. So we are here. So let's talk about some of the things that many folks were talking about on the comments, right? So for example, someone says, I just want to know how I can rewatch the semifinals since I paid for it, right? And we have other comments. I must also express my dissatisfaction with the service. I anticipate special arrangements for the finals as rectification for the problem. So now my question to you is, are you more likely to take a look at the finals, to pay for the finals, given what has happened with the live stream? Right? Because I think for many people, they're like, well, it's only $15. What's the big deal? Well, for you, it might be only $15 because you can afford it. But for many of us, it's a sacrifice because it's 15 US, right? So how much is that in Eastern Caribbean dollars? Maybe someone can let me know, right? Let's see. Somebody else says, I just don't like how them. Oh, that's a comment about checker. So we'll skip over this one. Let's see. I pay and did not see a thing. Had to go to DBS. Speaking of DBS, did anyone actually get to listen to the show? Because I think the other complaint that we heard was that none of the radio stations were actually carrying the program live, right? I did not listen, but from what I understand, none of the radio stations was carrying the program live. And I think that is quite disheartening because, first of all, not everyone has access to, know how to live stream. Maybe if you're someone who's living in a rural part of Dominica, you've never live streamed, and you just want to enjoy some good Calypso music on a Saturday night, and then to find out that there is no live stream, there's no radio broadcast of the Calypso show. So I thought that was especially disheartening, and it looks like we have quite a few people on the Facebook Live. So I want to welcome you and thank you for being here as we talk about how do we get to the bottom of this live stream issue that we seem to have every carnival season. And I have to commend us as Dominicans because, it seems like every season we go through the same thing with having these problems with the live stream. And then we come right back. Oh, I think Thaddeus is here. Oh, my apologies. I'm Tad. I did not mean to keep it in. Hey, Sakafet. I'm here engaging with my audience. We have quite a bit of an audience already, and they're ready to jump in on this live. So thank you for being here, Tad. I hope I'm not taking you away from your football game.
No, the TV. I'm watching TV.
You're multitasking this afternoon.
It's the American life. It's Super Bowl Sunday, so you have to adapt to the environment.
But when I thought about it, tomorrow is Valentine's Day, so there's never a good day to do this program, right?
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Yes,
Super Bowl is here and the Valentine's is here. Everybody in the house today.
Right. So now it's a true candid conversation, guys, because Black Pepper is in the house. So I was just saying hello to everyone in the Facebook Live. Clyde Gregoire is here. GZN Tamara Lafont. Hey, Tamara, nice to see you. Says, I did have a good experience on Comsy TV this time. Cheryl Joseph Drygo, good evening to you. She said, I had no issues watching on DBS. Thank you for that. Tamara says, when you turned on additional lights, it was better. Good. Thank you for that. So let's see who else is commenting on the Facebook Live before we continue the conversation. Tad, thank you again for being here on short notice. Let's see.
Yes, ma'am, no problem.
So Tamara says the 15 US is actually 40 EC. Huh, interesting. Annette Phillip, Kyrie FM had a lot of issues. So I'm just hoping that the powers that be will pay attention. Come on in. Let's have this conversation. Let us find out what were the issues and what can be done about those issues so that moving forward, everyone has a better experience and you can get even more customers to subscribe to the service. Tamara, that was wrong. There are people who love the art, and DBS and Kyrie did not stream. That means they did not stream it over the radio. Clyde Gregoire, $40 bank rate, 45 black market rate. Thank you for that. Almira Henry, local commentary was unavailable. This too kills the Calypso spirit for those who would be unable to meet the course. DJ Kubuli, good night. Annette Phillip, DBS was much better too. Kyrie, oh my God, was hopeless. Tad, let's talk. What are your thoughts about the fact that this semifinals, Calypso semifinals, was not streamed over the radio? There was no radio broadcast.
Well, good evening to all your listeners, first and foremost, and enough respect to you, Simon, for your program again, trying to create an environment for, dialogue, social dialogue, and just to kind of bring the intellectuals out there together, on a platform, to help to build nations. Because, the objective is to build nations and to try to look for solutions, not just criticize, but solutions. The platform is all about establishing solutions to better a system and a country and its people and a way of operating and everything. Yeah, but Simon, first of all, what I would say is we whenever we go into a venture, we must first understand what is the purpose and what is our purpose of the venture and what do we expect to achieve out of it. What does the online streaming platform subsidize? Given that environment that the pandemic has created, everything is being virtual. A lot of stuff is being virtual now, and you have to stream or view things live and all of that. We have to understand that streaming live is a subsidy for you not being present in the environment of the show. First, and then it's also another convenient way for people who are out of Dominica to visualize, to engage themselves through visual means to see the show, so to speak. So, first of all, I think the strategy they maybe used was to not air it live to the radio airwaves to kind of gravitate more people where they could acquire more income to pay to stream the show. But that was an irrelevant move because, like I said, streaming subsidized you being present in the environment of the live show. So taking it away from the media, the radio station was totally ignorant and irrelevant in my perspective. And I think, given the fact that we're trying to grow an art form, we're trying to promote a country, we're trying to promote a culture, when I see we should use all domains possible to get the culture or the agenda outside there, in the international world, it seems to me that the organizers has a different perspective and a different approach. meaning they only focus on financial gain. So I can say that now just to the fact that they eliminated live radio transmission and was trying to focus on revenue to be collected to a streaming platform. They wanted all energies to be directed towards obtaining a return of revenue from it. So they forgot their primary purpose was a cultural one, and they moved to a financial achievement purpose, which is a very selfish purpose. But I will say, you know me already, I'm straightforward. All these things happen, Simon, and we are starting to understand how a society is starting to think selfish, and it's all about the money,
Because
not the purpose.
we've never had that happen before, Tad. This is the very first
What
time I've ever heard of a semi-finals Calypso not being carried live on any radio stations in Dominica.
well, a lot of things happening now like that that has never happened before. So there's a certain energy that is consistent to do with our culture, our Dominica, and our changes happening across the board. So from now on, you're going to see every little significant factor, just like what just happened there. You're going to see a consistent pattern of I am in for the money, nothing else, and my
Yeah,
primary focus should be that.
and I don't want to stray too far from the conversation, Tad, because we have a lot to
So
cover. But it almost
yeah,
feels like, the more we as Dominicans are willing to accept, it's the more that are put on us to accept, right? Because so many things have happened and we don't protest, we don't stand up. So it almost feels like people feel like they can get away with even more because we don't protest, right? So if we
yeah.
had said, well, we're not going to watch the live feeds, the streaming live feeds, because it's not available on the radio for those of us who cannot afford the live stream, then a message would have been
Well,
sent, right?
yes, well, you're correct. But at the end of the day, too, like I always tell you, everything has to be systematic. So when people are not challenged with consequences, when things don't happen, then just what happened, they will continue to happen is the people will fall, just as you said a while ago, they're going to become that way, non-protesting or not standing up for rights or whatever, because there's no systematic way to protect them in doing that. You know, like in the States right now, if I were to pay right now, let's just suppose I were to pay towards the Super Bowl,
Super
and
Bowl,
I put
right?
out a party right in my basement for 30 people. I put in about $600 into my basement, amenities, drinks, and whatever. And I have proof that I paid to stream something and I did not get proof. I can go for a lawsuit. Easy. I have the grounds, legitimate documentation, and what it takes to support me going for a lawsuit. But what I have the most in the United States of America is a system. What I have the most is a system that will facilitate me to do so. So you understand what I'm saying? So there must be a systematic way of consequences when certain things don't go right. Anytime you don't have that, people are not encouraged to approach things and also providers such as who was responsible for the streaming and the Calypso Association and all of that. There's not a platform where they can be legally challenged. If there is, it's not vibrant in Dominica. So everybody is taking a field trip and getting away with what they want to get away in their own interest and based on the fact that they know there are not much consequences later on. So they will
Right. Yeah,
blow
and
it.
let me
Yeah.
let me just say good night to everyone on the Facebook Live. Sometimes my stream disappears, my feed disappears. So I want to make sure I don't forget anyone. Neil Labassiere, good night to you. YL Philip is here. Good evening. Wyma Henry, nice to see you. Ajmal Rahim Peters. Oh, congratulations, Ajmal, for your award. I believe you got an award for the Dominica Music Award. If you didn't, you should have because you're phenomenal. Great job. Nikki Bellany Royer is here. Nice to see you. Juanita Prince, Brina Francis, everyone is here with us. So I'm grateful that you guys are hanging out with us. Rose George, Sabria Senhouse, my sister, what's going on? How is the Super Bowl party coming along? Gary Phillip, Madonna John, Baptist is here. Jamie Bruno, Vicky John Baptist, Daily Prosper, Delia Samuel, Wads is here. Jan Jan Joanne, Birmingham, Rodolphia Caesar, Judith Cochran, Crystalline, Daru, Vernie. So many people are here. It is wonderful to see you. Anna Phillips says, no, for the quarterfinals, Kyrie also had issues, but it was free. Jan Jan says, madness. My mom is here. Medina Senhouse. Let's see. Jan Jan Joseph, everything is being taken away from us, and our people accept all. Vic Walsh, good evening. Judith Cochran, great discussion. Thank you. Nixie Alfred and Strathmore Edwards. So quite a few people on the Facebook Live with us, and we want to thank you. And then, Tad, the question that comes to mind as well is this whole idea of bandwidth, right? Because one of the major issues we always have, and we're so loyal and we always want to pay for these programs, but it never seems like there is enough bandwidth to make it available for everyone to be a part of the streaming. So in your mind, should these companies know how many customers they should be able to accommodate? And if anyone on the live is familiar with how the whole bandwidth thing works, we would love to hear from you as well. But is it their responsibility, Tad, to know how many customers can be accommodated on a certain bandwidth, and there should be a cutoff point so that if it can accommodate 100 people and I'm 101, then it doesn't slow down the bandwidth for everyone?
Well, yes, you're right. I mean, but you see, Simon, you see, everything that becomes a grievance to us, it always falls back one place. And I will always say, you need to have systems in place first. You need to have systems that can protect companies when they're executing their development on the island, to make sure it meets a criteria. That the heads that we put down on a platform, they have to fall within a certain criteria of operation, just to facilitate just what we want now. We cannot always leave that up to them. They have to be always challenged, and they have to be obligated to meet a certain point of their services. You understand? So most people react based on their financial reach, and they're not challenged or they're not compelled to do more, because it's everything is kept within their own powers. Systematically, there should be a ceiling or a challenge set based on what a government would know on the development platform, where they intend to go in 15 years, and they expect the amenities to accommodate their development to be in place. They know what they're going to do. They have to challenge those people, and the different forums. When you get permission to do certain things, you must meet a certain criteria, because it has to fulfill an ultimate purpose. And at the end of every purpose that has a national platform, it has to make the country reflect in good light. Mm-hmm. So we have to find systems that protects whatever we do internationally. We have to find systems that protects that whatever we do internationally could be of an international standard, without those hindrances we go through and embarrassments we go through. Mm-hmm. So right now we're in a forum discussing that, but there's a negative energy because of what just happened. It should not be that. No, we should be here today. Right. We should be here today on the platform of culture and tourism, promoting a success of an event that is cultural oriented. That's our purpose there today, to see how we could broaden, the base of the intent or whatever, and try to get more people to be interested in Dominica Calypso, build a platform from what they have. But instead, we always have to be coming on a reactive level based on things did not go good.
Yeah, and you're so right, Tad, because one of the things we don't take into consideration is that when we're doing these live stream events, we're live streaming to the world. So maybe I
Yeah,
want a foreigner to enjoy part of my culture. And I say, hey, it's only $15. Just pay, support our culture, support
correct,
Dominica, support Calypso. Pay the $15 and enjoy the music. Do you know how embarrassing it
correct.
would have been if I had done that? And then the person is like, well, I saw absolutely nothing, which is what we were hearing. The complaints were, we heard complaints with lighting, we heard complaints with, one camera being stationary. So it almost felt like, there was a need for the benefit to earn the money, but enough attention was not placed on the technology, the quality of the production, right? Instead, it was more profit focused. And it just seemed very obvious. And again, we are here to have a constructive conversation. So we're here to say, here are what the issues are. 1, 2, 3, 4. What can be done to address these issues to give us a better production to increase your revenue? In my mind, it
Yeah,
makes sense. Does it make sense to you, Ted?
but yes. But what you said is a very sensitive thing because it just put me to realize to look at it from another angle of deception too. Because I'm trying to correlate why wouldn't they have it streamed live on the radio, and we come up with the idea that they're trying more people to gravitate into live streaming because there is monetary returns from that. So, but I am starting to also think that if it was intentional for them not to spend too much to be able to keep more by not opening up the bandwidth to accommodate more people, because it might affect their profit margin.
Right.
I'm starting to think of that too. And I can suggest that
And again,
just
we
by the
wish
fact that
somebody
they,
would join us. We wish somebody would join us. We are always open to having other people join us.
yeah, so if that is
Clarify
not the
these things.
case,
Go ahead, Tad.
yeah, if that is not the case, I don't think anybody should be afraid if they know better than what we're speculating about right now in the absence of fact. And even when you get fact, the fact might be polished for them not to look bad, but it might not be the true fact. You understand? So we just caught within a rock and a hard place in our cultural upbringing, the way we do things and promote. And like I know people, for example, who had in excess of 15 people paid for stream were going to have a basement party under that circumstances, and it never happened. And everybody sat down there just drinking, making noise. They cannot even listen to the Calypso radio to relate.
Right. Because now
But
your live stream is not working and you can't even listen. I didn't think about that.
yeah, I know a guy who went to get a 75-inch at Sam's Club. He tell me straight after Calypso, he's going to return it, but he's going to have a 75-inch in America already in his basement for Calypso season, for Super Bowl, and after Carnival, when Lent, Ash Wednesday, he going back and bring the TV. By Sam's Club, he'll get back
And
his full refund.
he will repent.
No, that's what repent. This is America, sweetie. It's totally legal. You didn't tell them. They tell you can bring it back if you don't like it. So if I decide I don't want to use of it anymore, a lot of people do that for Super Bowl. People have 19-inch TV in their basement now, and mark you, by Wednesday that back in the store, and people like me come in and get it 40% off. So I welcome that. I love it.
But I see your point because people were all set to enjoy the event.
Yeah.
And then not only could you not see it, but you couldn't even hear it.
Yeah, because in America, that platform is fraud.
We have some great feedback on the Facebook Live, and thank you everyone for being here. Judith Cochran say it was very poor on the Calypso Association side. Judith, tell us some more about why you think so. Judith, it wasn't even live on the radio, and Nithya Adams. And they also have to remember the seniors who do not have access to the internet, because some people still listen to the radio just via the radio, not over the internet like us.
Yeah, you cannot take away. There's a cultural platform on which we build on. You can build up, but you cannot. How should I say it?
Yes,
you cannot build a house higher by taking out the foundation. It's gonna crumble. You have to respect the foundation, and the foundation is your people on land first. Just like you said, the senior citizens who cannot stream, who have internet, but they want to relate to our craft and our culture. and you exempt them from that once a year opportunities. A lot of disrespect for our culture, and people attach. I know people really just like Calypso.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's kind of hurtful. I mean, in 2022, we should not be having that discussion right here, Simon. It hurts, and then it puts me into a mind frame of what will happen tomorrow? Where are we going from here?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to get a low confidence in where we're going from here. We
Mm-hmm.
need to do better than that and take these
Yeah.
things more serious.
Yeah.
We
And
need to.
Cheryl says people need to understand that things cannot be free all the time. You can't expect the semifinals to be free. Cheryl, you're absolutely correct, right? But when we're willing to pay for it, we should get the quality that we're paying for, right? Jan says that is history. We not having our radio stations to listen. My mind, they just set on collecting money, right? Jennifer Christmas, how do I get my money back? Jan, no one say they have a problem with paying. The people had a problem with the quality of the stream. And let's just see who else is here with us. Jerry Tewitt, Osti Laron, Julian James, Mens LeBlanc, Eleanor Joseph, Susan Joseph, Candia John, Daryl Hector, many folks on the Facebook Live. Gilbert Hosper, Juliet Badwell, good to see you. Jose Lawrence, Keisha L. Joseph, lots of folks here. Bex Bedno. So thank you for being here, everyone. Don't forget to share the live. Edmund Rodman, Stedroy Williams is here. So don't forget to share the live. Patricia Fontaine is here. Yeah, so Tad, we have a long way to go. We have a
Wrong way.
long way to go. And I think what was particularly upsetting was the fact that it was not on the radio. So I'm just kind of curious, because was that a decision that the radio stations made together? Because how did it seem to occur that
They
one
cannot.
decided not to carry it and everybody else did the same? How did that
No,
happen?
we cannot. So I don't. No. I don't think it's a decision by the radio stations. No, I think it's a decision by the organizers, because three radio stations
Mm.
cannot decide they're not carrying something live that puts them as a radio station into good light in the public. You understand?
Mhm.
So I think our
Mhm.
first conclusion that we discussed earlier in terms of they're just trying to direct a gain or revenue gain to themselves and be selfish about it and hope that strategy will gravitate more people. It actually worked out in the reverse. Now, what this platform just did this weekend, it compromises what will happen for the finals. 50% of the people who paid, my brother paid and up now we can't see nothing. They're not going to try that chance, even though they come and say they fix the problem tomorrow for the finals. They're not going to compromise their 15 US. You understand? So they
Mhm.
already put a damper on what the future holds in terms of the finals. When you're coming in 2022, you have to come in right. There's no half and half. We know everything is on a virtual platform now. We have enough downtime to pay attention to those services being, upscale and of purpose. It's not like we're running around, every day and we're busy and we cannot attend to this. No, we have enough downtime because of the pandemic to focus on those things to make it right. So
Mhm.
we're between a
Yeah,
rock and a hard
and,
place,
and
like I
speaking
said.
and speaking of your brother, he's here. Carl, sorry to hear that happened to you. You paid and you did not get to see the event. Cheryl says, I think Dominica need to meet with DCA needs to meet with the media and streaming houses and work it out. Thank you for that. Cheryl. Ramona Douglas is here. Anna Tulo, great to see you. Helen Adams is watching. Viva Mamo, nice to see you. Thank you for being here. Sabria says, if funds are an issue, and they need money in advance to put on a quality show, the tickets should have been available long in advance. Also, let the public know long in advance that the show won't be carried live on the radio as expected. The tickets for the finals should be available already. Are they? Good question, Sabria. And Judith says there should be compensation or have it free for the finals. Carl says I paid Kyrie FM my $15 and up to this money moment, not even a log on, much less for bad reception. So here we have folks who actually paid and did not even receive the login information. So Tad, as we go into the section about where do we go from here, right? What are the solutions? I think the number one solution that we need to consider, and I am hoping that folks from the media houses will take a look at this video and take a look at our recommendations moving forward, is customer service. Because I saw so many comments last night of folks saying, I have my code. Where do I put the code? Simple. I was shocked. I have my code. I received my code via email, text, or whatever. And I have no clue where to put the code. The folks were saying, I am putting in my username and password, and I'm not getting through. So was there customer service available?
Yeah, and also, again, like I always say, I'm very consistent with my thought process and what I say. You also have to strategically design something to accommodate the type of people you have on your island. Now, Dominicans are not the average type of people who like to read, but yet still you want your message to go out. So what is the first thing you do? You put a video tutorial showing people how to log on for the event, how to pay, and make that go viral. So some people would not have the fear factor of engaging or attempting in doing that. You do a video tutorial to show, giving people the instructions, because not everybody can read. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to know how to approach the type of people that first and foremost. And you can always back it up with a literature aspect of it. But generally, Dominicans like to see before they read things. And that's our culture.
Yeah,
like
and
this is not barbarian.
And Jennifer Christmas is expressing a real sentiment. She says, I'm done taking part in this stuff. And we always say that, Tad, but we're such loyal people. Next time it comes around, we go right back. And she also says, I want my money back. And to give credit to Kyrie FM, I saw that they posted a phone number that folks can call in terms of if they want to inquire about a refund. But I'm just thinking of how practical it is to refund everyone who has a complaint about the thing. I mean, how practical? How many people are they willing to refund?
How does this is something else, how does Kyrie FM justify a caller wanting a refund? How do they justify that the link did not go through?
How do you verify that?
Right. You have another aspect of the banking system. Who knows? The banking system might not allow you to retract revenue like that because of the rate of refund into your venture. It sort of gives a scamming effect in the financial world. We have to be very careful about that too. The banking system, especially in Dominica now, is very sensitive under the act of money laundering. So whenever we put anything to retrieve revenue in Dominica, we have to make sure it is sound and secure. Now, there might be challenged to give multiple refunds. That is fraud energy in the United States of America. Banking systems look at all of that before they give you permission to be able to use online payment to that particular platform. The banking system can shut down that platform of payment, you know that. They will do anything to protect anything that seems scam. And if people report it as scam, that's it. There's no more streaming on that. They have to create another. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to be very careful because we in a land of systems, we know what is established here to protect us. So we're just giving you all some intelligence.
And even with that, what I thought would have been helpful, and again, it's just giving the information. This is our think tank. We come here, we talk about the issues, we talk about potential solutions, and we give recommendations. And we would love to have the experts join us to let us know where we are wrong and let us know what what our thinking are that is incorrect. But here too, I'm thinking, okay, we give the phone number to say if you have a claim, you want to claim a refund, this is the number you call. But also let us know, what do we need to provide as evidence?
Yeah.
Maybe we need to take a screenshot, right? So we know what to do in case this happens again next time, so that we have our evidence. Because now I can just call the number. I watched the whole show, right, Tad? Tomorrow I call the number.
Yeah.
Boy, I didn't see nothing. Now can I get my money back? How you gonna
Exactly.
disprove what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. So, they might have one, but we don't know. Like I say, in the absence of information, we don't know, because even in the promotional aspect, right? They should also inform the public even way before the event takes place. In case that happens, here is your platform of refund, and here is what you do to legitimize your refund.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? They can
Right.
tell you how to pay, but it's also their responsibility to tell you how to be compensated
Claim.
if it doesn't, or refunded if it doesn't happen.
Right.
Information goes both ways. You don't just say and make a visual thing as to how to pay, but you have to also say it's technology. For if there is some given reason that technology falls apart, here is what you do to
Yeah.
get your refund.
Right.
Information,
Right.
education is key.
Yeah. And I
Yeah,
think Sabria is right, because I think the solution to everything that we're talking about is giving people the information in advance. So if you know you're not going to stream it over the radio, let people know this in advance, so that at least they know that they must go to the streaming option. But if we go to the streaming option has to work, right? So
yeah.
now,
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
No, you can go ahead. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah. So we have some more comments coming in. I want to thank everyone who's joining us. Jan says, well, deduct the amount from the final cost and let people view the show. Absolutely. So while I'm taking the comments, here's a question I have for you on Facebook Live. Are you more likely to pay for the finals? Who's paying for the finals after this happens? I think that's a good question. Jennifer Christmas, James, good advice. Jennifer again on point, and let's just see who else is joining us. Joseph Hyacinth is here. Roma Saint Jean, Jenny Jean is here. Norman Alexander, Zen Jacob, Clint Peters, Lawrence Julia. So we want to say good evening to everyone. Leroy Blanc is here. So we have quite an audience here, and we want to thank you for being here. Don't forget to share the live. So Tad, recommendations. One,
Yeah.
customer
Well,
service.
mhm,
Customer
that's
service
correct.
is a must for anyone who's having a log on problem. Quality of production, lighting, camera, right? Making sure that when the performer is on the stage, the camera is not on the commentator, which is something that I heard, right? Bandwidth. And I wish we had someone who can come on here and tell us about this whole bandwidth thing, because I need to understand it a little bit more. And if you need to seek a refund, what do I need to produce in order to receive a refund? Tad, your thoughts?
Yeah. Yeah. Well. I want to, I want to take the discussion a little further down the line, and it has to do. At the end of the day, Simon, all our recommendations are very costly, right? And we are into going in of the third year of the pandemic, where we know social engagement, live social engagement, and attendance has been compromised because of the pandemic, right? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, right. That has been compromised because of the pandemic. So if I was part of the Calypso Association, the first thing I would put in process is, hey guys, we're losing about 90% of our revenue to do with Calypso because of the pandemic. So for us to have finance based on those down times, when the time arises, which is Calypso Carnival season itself, we need to create a platform to subsidize revenue throughout the year so we can have enough revenue when Carnival comes to be able to invest in a quality virtual product. So what do we do? I think the Calypso Association should create a more versatile platform throughout the year for Calypso. I also think the Calypsonians don't have to wait for Carnival to do Calypso. Calypso is not just about Carnival. You understand? Calypso is about music and entertainment and expressing feelings of a culture or society. And that happens every day. You might hear some of the Buyo artists do relevant productions in terms of society at any time in the year, right? It puts money in their pocket in August, in May, in April. It don't matter when. It's all about when production has been established. So I think in order to build a platform, we need to have a more consistent psychological approach and a more consistent financial backing to be able to sustain the Calypso Association and to be able to grow it. Because consistency is what grows anything. And you have to remind people consistently that there's a Calypso Association, there is a skill set within a certain people with our culture in their production to do the Calypso writing and this and that. And there's nothing wrong in the Calypso Association holding interval events leading up to Calypso to Carnival. So you can engage the Calypsonians at least 2 to 3 times more in the year so that the more they produce is the more they get confidence. Now, if I am to approach a stage next year Carnival, how much motivation I have after this Carnival is done to be able to give you a fruitful production in 12 months' time. The only thing that can help me do that and establish that is consistency on practice, production, and building confidence. To do that, I have to be exposed a little more. I have to be able to express my craft a little more, and at that point you establish more confidence, which brings your product for next Carnival to another level. You get my point?
Absolutely.
So I mean, when you look at Sour as a testimony, in a sense, people can grow.
Yes.
But the confidence Sour has established did not come in between a year. It came in after multiple years.
Oh, yeah.
That could have been expedited by about 3 years earlier if only he could have engaged himself 3 more times in that year before Carnival to build that 3-step level confidence. You get my point?
Yep.
So while we want big as consumers, we also have to advise them how to be able to boost their finances and boost a system to be able to gravitate. We are the ones that pay them. The revenue comes from the patrons. You have to learn how to keep and you have to learn how to build. The Calypso Association is doing nothing like that. What they know how to, or they're attempting to do, is attempt to engage you when the time comes.
So, Tad, we have a lot to talk about. We're inviting the Calypso Association.
It's a product and it's
media houses.
Yeah, it's a product and it's marketing. With products, you have competition, you have things alongside you, and you need to pay attention to what you want to sell.
Right.
And you have to be consistent in the influence, and that's it. So we have to formulate a way to extract that ideology of Calypso for Carnival and make Calypso a cultural product, consistent in the cultural aspect of Dominica throughout the year, period.
Yep. Absolutely. Back to our Facebook audience, because they're part of the conversation as well. Rosalind Severa, listening from New York. Great to see you. Jennifer, we need to upgrade. We are backwards. Cheryl, someone should call the president of DCA. Let's get their sign. Todd, you know, work is cut out for us. We're always open to the conversation, but unfortunately, many times no one is available to join us. But we keep the doors wide open and we keep the
Yeah.
invitation out there for anyone who's willing to be a part of the conversation. Cheryl will definitely pay for the finals, and I think many of us will. Jennifer says, Cheryl, Joseph, me too. They need to get the act together in 2022, and Cheryl agrees. Ty, Francis have off season, like you just said. Tad have Calypsonians during Christmas, Easter, and summer. Let's see who else is here. Athalie Frederick, thank you for being here. King Baba, Detush, nice to see you. Kurt Cyril, David Johnson, all the way in Africa. So great to see you. Thank you for being here. Razio Shillingford, Kitty Kitty, Edmund Lloyd, so many people on the live. Tad, Brenda Anslem, thank you for being here. Joyce Joseph, lots of folks on the Facebook Live. My cousin, Neto, I'm in trading. Chinese Strauss is here. Ben Jacks Joseph, thank you for being a part of the conversation, everyone. Antonia Martin, thank you for being a part of the conversation. Don't forget to share the live. So, Todd, I think we've covered quite a bit of information today. I hope that this was a constructive conversation. Kahina is here. She says, good night, everyone. Teacher Thaddeus, I'm in class. Thank you for that.
Everyone is a teacher.
Yes, we are all teachers and we're all here to learn. So I'm hoping that the powers that be take the recommendation. Don't see it as criticism. Don't see it as a personal attack. We all have areas of growth in our life. And again, I will continue to stress that if we attend to these issues, imagine how much more customers we will be able to secure for these productions, and we will be able to continue to grow the service.
Someone just texted me privately. They said, Tad, I noticed Simon put Simon Matthews PhD, but she also needs to put Thaddeus James Street PhD.
Well, the good news is, Tad, you're the one who writes your name, so you can write anything you want.
I'm good. I don't need title to voice my opinion, man. Thanks for the motivation, but we just keep it in real. It doesn't have to take title, you know.
So again,
like today, I heard Cornell Philip blogged on Facebook. A lot of people think sour, is like, not too intelligent, but they'll be surprised how many of them have ever had a conversation with so. He's a very intelligent guy, and I will tell you something. Me and Kofi and myself, we were discussing way back in the days. Sour actually came in on RSB platform first as a Calypsonian. Remember when they saw Calypso tent in good times?
Yes.
Remember when Cool Pipe was it was RSB and they, because even Swing Stars did not have a place for people like Sour and RSB accommodated him. But guess what? My brother reminded me of Simon. Mm-hmm. Sour was the first person by the band house for practice every night, on the hour sharp or before.
Yep.
And he was maybe the only person in the car.
Right.
You were warming right early after he said his ball out, and by 7 o'clock, he by the band house, waiting to practice. Mm-hmm. So you see consistency and commitment. It goes way back. Some people don't know that.
Yeah, and you know the other thing, Tad, I think we're too quick to criticize when people want to grow, right? Because I've heard so much about the fact that, he's no longer the comedian of Calypso. Like, where is he going? You know, I'm
like, I have an issue. No.
He's trying to grow.
Yes,
Why
but I will be honest with you. I will be honest with you. But you see, that is the whole idea of just what I said earlier. If we were to do multiple strands of promoting the Calypso throughout the year, there would be moments when he can run on the platform that built him in terms of his brand as Sour. And then you gave us that. And I can appreciate growth alongside your originality. You understand? But right now, it's like I'm missing my little
I know.
Sour. I understand. Everybody has to grow. I appreciate it growing. I'm happy he grew. Mm-hmm. But the platform from which he originated should never be forgotten because he has a nice cultural comedian platform
Yes,
of putting
yes.
his lyrics together, that psychologically it helps.
Mm-hmm.
So if the final competition is not the platform that can get him crowned, which is always the objective of a
Right,
Calypso show,
right, right.
I understand what it is now for him.
Mm-hmm.
But I also want to understand where he came from and what impact he has on society based on his brand. So
Mm-hmm.
in throughout the year, under non-competitive moments, I want my material.
Yes, me
And
too.
I can relate to you on a competitive level with all the respect of group
Right,
for the Calypso
right.
competition.
But during the year,
At that point in time,
you want your yow
at that
yow.
point in time, I all out sour. I all out sour in the competition at
Right.
that point in time. But
Mhm.
don't leave me hanging with no smile
Right,
and laughter. Yeah, it's very
right,
important to us
right.
culturally.
But any
So,
surprises now for who made it to the finals? Any surprises? I think some people were disappointed that Luscious didn't make it.
well, everybody can go, eh? Everybody can go. That's the end of the thing. And then you still have, certain little energies that decide who go and how. I
That's a whole
personally
other
think that
topic.
yes, yeah, but I personally think that even alongside the judges that are designated, the official judges that are designated, they should have about a 50 public poll.
Yes.
They should have about a 50 member,
Yes.
randomly selected member
Mhm.
public poll. Take the average from that and marry it to the average of
Yeah.
the official judges,
Mhm.
and they will come up with
Yeah,
a
like
very
American
viable
Idol.
result.
Why don't we get to vote? So it's like American Idol. We should be a part of the
Correct,
selection process. We
correct.
should
But
be a
like I
part.
said, if not, well, I don't know if we can vote. If we can't see it, if not vote, we can vote it. We
Right.
have problems streaming it. I don't think I don't think it's vote that will reach to. You understand?
Well, Tad,
So
that's why we're here, you
we don't
know.
want to we don't want to yeah, no, we don't want to challenge them with too much.
Right.
So let's give them about a 50 patrons
Right.
randomly
Hmm.
selected through a
Right.
ballot system. You put your name in as an attender or cultural lover on a random. You have a number and a random raffle, and you're obligated to sit and put judgment to the cultural. And then we take those 50 results, we average it, and those averages we get in terms of who come out first, second, third, fourth, fifth in terms of points. We marry that to the official, and then we can say we have a just,
Right.
what I'm saying is that we are trying to eradicate any influence that
Mm-hmm.
the designated judges might have, be political or financial on the table, whatever, that can offset that from
Mm-hmm.
happening. You
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying? So just to keep it strong and keep it fair and not have people disgruntled on the outside as to who should
Right.
make it, who don't make it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
so that
Yeah,
can work too.
but thank you, Tad. Thank you for taking an hour out of your Super
Yeah,
Bowl Sunday. I know you got to get back to your game. Ty Francis says
tell
our
me about it.
businesses or private sector should have Calypsonians make ads to them. Sabria says, whoa, I think Sour Sour is excellent. Jennifer Sour Sour, he really graduated from university. I love his voice. And this year you have Clyde and Almera rolling on the ground. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here for another candid conversation with Mr. Thaddeus James as we looked at what can be done to improve the quality of our live streaming, because the future is today, the future is now, and we really have to do better in terms of improving the quality of the live streaming platforms that we are paying for. And we're happy to pay for the platforms. Don't get me wrong. We are happy to pay for the platforms, but we at least want to be able to see the show, and we want a quality production, and we want customer service so that if a problem
Yeah.
presents itself, then we have an option to be able to rectify the situation so we can enjoy our big screen TV that
Yeah.
we take on
Oh yeah.
credit.
Before we bring it back. Before we
We
bring it
take on
back.
credit.
Before we bring it. No, I'm quitting now. You paying cash.
I
You will
know,
pay cash. Not in another cut, sir. You pay
I
cash.
know.
But when you don't have use for it for the you bring it back. They give
Right,
you three
right,
months, 90 days. You
right.
bring it. It's not me. They don't say bring it back if you don't want it.
It's
If I
true.
decide I
It's
have no use for it again, I bring it back, I get my money. Next Super Bowl, I
right.
buy a brand new one. I'll come out
It's true.
with more features and whatever, you know.
Yep.
This
Yep.
was this
So thank,
America, baby. You know
yeah,
what
I know.
that's what's up.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
everyone for being here. Ty Francis said Pussy the semi-final, but she was blind to see the final. Oh Lord, let me not get started on that conversation.
Yeah.
Rosie says thank you
Poor
too.
Poos.
Carl says, blessed
Poor
up
Poo boy.
panel. And Evelina Blas says, hi, Simone. Hi, Evelina. Great to see you. So, Tad, thank you for being here until we do another candid
Yeah, man, bless
conversation.
up.
Everyone, don't forget to follow Push by Send because you just never know when next we're going to jump on this Facebook Live and talk about something that is of concern to you and figure out what the true problem is, what the solutions are. And again, the door is wide open to any officials, any experts who are willing to join us to be a part of this conversation. So until next time, I am Simone Matthew. My co-host is Thaddeus Black Pepper James, and we want to wish you all a very pleasant evening and a happy and productive week. So thank you for being here and have a good night. Thanks, Tad.
Respect. All right, you're welcome, man.